Senator Wong. Senator Brandis.
Thank you, Mr President. The Liberal Party, the Coalition, the Government are disappointed by the course that Senator Bernardi has taken this morning. We believe that he has done the wrong thing, because only 7 months ago Senator Bernardi was elected by the people of South Australia to serve in the Senate as a Liberal senator. There is a variety of views in the Liberal Party, as there is a variety of views in the Labor Party. But only 7 months ago, Senator Bernardi was happy to stand before the people of South Australia and to say that he sought their endorsement to serve for a 6-year term as a Liberal senator. Now, Senator Bernardi has been a participant in debates in the Liberal Party, as have I. But in the 7 months since the federal election, nothing has changed. There is no policy for which the Liberal Party and the government stands today which is not the same as the platform on which Senator Bernardi sought election by the people of South Australia only 7 months ago. And in view of that, we find it perplexing that when there is no difference between the policy and platform on which he sought re-election and the policy and platform of the government today, he would feel the need to take this course. There was no need for him to take this course because, as the former Prime Minister, Mr Howard, famously said, the Liberal Party is a broad church. It can accommodate people like Senator Bernardi, and it can accommodate people of more moderate views than Senator Bernardi. And it's genius. And the reason why it has been the government of Australia for longer than any other political party is because people within the Liberal Party have understood that, as Senator Bernardi, a former state president and a former federal vice president, should understand it as well. We in the government will deal with Senator Bernardi as we deal with all members of the crossbench in a professionally courteous and respectful way. We will treat him as a colleague, and for many members of the government, he will continue to be a personal friend. But we do not condone what he has done. And might I say that if one seeks to restore confidence in the political class, it is a poor way to begin by breaking the promise one makes to one's electors to serve for the political party on whose platform and on whose ticket one stood. What Senator Bernardi has done today is not a Conservative thing to do, because breaking faith with the electorate, breaking faith with the people who voted for you, breaking faith with the people who have supported you through thick and thin for years and indeed decades, is not a Conservative thing to do. Nevertheless, as I said, Mr President, we will continue to treat Senator Bernardi courteously, professionally, as a colleague. There is one respect in which, of course, Senator Bernardi stands in a different position than the other members of the Senate crossbench. Unlike the other members of the Senate crossbench, Senator Bernardi was elected to support the policies of this government. And whether within the Liberal Party or now as a member of the crossbench, what we will be seeking of Senator Bernardi is to do no more than to support the policies and measures on which he stood when he sought re-election by the people of South Australia in July of last year. Now, Senator Wong, predictably, seeks to make political points. She's entitled to do that, and I'm not going to engage in engage in a slanging match with Senator Wong other than to remind her that it is
Order on both sides.
other than to remind her that it is not unknown on either side of politics for people to become unhappy and unsettled in the political party which they were elected to represent and to leave. We saw that in the parliament before last with Mr Peter Slipper in the other place. We saw it in this Senate some 20 years ago in the case of former Senator Mal Colston. But unlike the Labor Party on the occasion of the Mal Colston defection, we won't be abusing Senator Bernardi. We won't be engaged. We express disappointment, but we won't be abusing him in the way, for example, we saw former Senator Robert Ray conduct the most vindictive personal campaign against Senator Mal Colston that any of us can remember. We won't be doing that. We will be treating him as a professional colleague with appropriate professional courtesy. But Senator Wong, you observe, cheaply if I may say so,
On my left.
that there is division on my side of politics. The departure of one person from a party room of more than 100 hardly constitutes division, particularly when I look across this chamber and I see not one party of the left but two. Not one party of the left but two. I see the 26 Labor Party senators, but I also see their mortal rivals and enemies, the 9 Greens senators. Do you know, Mr President, that if you examine the statistics from the last federal election, they reveal something very instructive. Do you know that if you were a young Australian, a person under the age of 30, whose political sympathies lay with the left, you were as likely to vote for the Greens Party as you were to vote for the Australian Labor Party? So please, Senator Wong, we won't be having any lectures from you about division in politics when your entire electoral base is being gradually, indeed not so gradually, fairly rapidly eroded by your rivals on the left of politics, the Australian Greens. Nor will we be hearing sententious lectures from you, Senator Wong, the person who sits in the same party room that former Senator Mal Colston once sat. So, Mr President, this is a sad day for the Liberal Party. It is a sad day when somebody leaves the family. Senator Bernardi will have to account to the Australian people and to his own conscience about how he can continue to sit in this parliament, having been elected as a Liberal. But that is a matter for him. But we in the government will proceed with the important business of making Australia secure and prosperous. We have a very busy agenda in 2017, and we look forward to working with every senator for the best interests of our country.
Thank you, Senator Brandis. Senator Di Natale.